it's like it's like I never left. Let's just make sure first of all that this is actually working, because it's important to me that it work. Um, I mean, is it? I don't know how important it is to me that it work, but let's just see here. Yeah, there it is. We are live. We're going to get started singing some songs in a couple minutes. A little bit of housekeeping. I'm so rusty on this. Like, I had a spiel that I would give at the beginning of every single one of these live streams, and I can't remember the spiel. What I do remember is that I would often share, and so I'm gonna share this feed, just so people know, and that's something that y'all can do as well. You can. If you're on Facebook, just click that share button and let folks know that I'm live right now for the first time in a quite a while. We're also live on YouTube. Let's see here. Oh, it's Jim Carroll. Hey, Jim, it's great to see you. Good afternoon, Adam Dawson and Ann. I'm glad it's working for you. I hope that Richard is doing good. I hope that I guess Richard got his second shot just a little while ago, and I hope that it's gonna have an effect. It does on everybody who gets that second shot, but I hope that it is as we say on one half of my genetic material. I hope it's an easy fast, so to speak. Oh, Saturday, March 27th. It's 11:59 a.m. It is now noon on the knob. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We are at the mercy of all of the various technological gods and goddesses, which reminds me, I'm going to close some windows right now just so that I'm back. That was fun and interesting. We'd lost the signal for like a second. I hope that we're still all together. In my zeal to close windows, I closed the actual window that we were doing this from. So, but let's just make sure. I'm gonna jump on here and check and see. I think I'm here. Yeah, I'm still here. All right, good. I think what happened. I think this was the first song that I played when we did the live stream on March 25th of 2020. I think this is, and so I'm gonna start with this one. It's wonderful to see y'all. Last night's show had an itch in my throat. I woke up this morning, it was gone. Black coffee, breakfast, not a cloud in the sky. Feeling shaky, edgy, all kinds of wrong. Played brunch at Charlie's in the LED glare. Started feeling kinda dizzy in my high top chair. But I finished the set, packed up my car, started driving back to Austin. Hope I get that far. I'm doing 60 in a 75, having a panic attack. I just got flipped off and passed by a grandma in a Cadillac. Yeah, Yeah, tunnel vision, cold sweat, could be a stroke. If I took a sip of water, man, I'd probably choke. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 in a 75. Well, I think of pulling off, maybe making a call. Don't know to who or what the hell I would say. Maybe try to sing a little, might calm me down. Sorta better not bet, okay. By the time I hit the browsers, things are evening out. I try to listen to some music, but it's twist and shout. That's a little too much, and the sun's in my eyes, so I skip it, and the next one's waiting round to die. I'm doing 60 in a 75, having a panic attack. I just got flipped off and passed by a grandma in a Cadillac. Yeah, tunnel vision, cold sweat, could be a stroke. If I took a sip of water, man, I'd probably choke. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 in a 75. I guess I'm in the market for an SSRI, doing 60 in a 75. That song is called 60 in a 75. And I'm back doing this live stream. It's been 2 days more than a year that I've been doing this. And I took a break from the beginning of December until now, to hibernate, I guess, so to speak. I spent a lot of that time hibernating, working on some old songs, not some old songs, working on songs that are threatening to be on new records. I recorded and released a couple songs, one of which came out on Thursday. I'll play that in a little while. I released a little Christmas song in December too. But I'm back doing this live stream. I'm not sure how long this is gonna last. Both this one, because if you recall last year, sometimes my little computer would overheat. But also just in general. As of right now, the first show that I have on my calendar is May 16th. I believe, and that is the return of Third Sundays at New World Deli here in Austin, Texas. I got my first shot on March 11th. Lindsay and I volunteered up at the Reeves Athletic Complex in Wilco, and we volunteered. It was a wonderful experience. At the end of the day, they had extra vaccine, and so they shot us up. And so, the hope is that we'll be back there toward the middle of April, getting our second shots. And a couple weeks, let that sit for a couple weeks, and then by the middle of May, I should be vaccinated and ready to go. And I think a lot of you who are watching are, because I've seen you talk about it on Facebook. And so that makes me super happy. I'm real happy today because Zoe, our older daughter, who is 16, is scheduled to get the Pfizer vaccine. She and Lindsay are going to drive down to Southwest Austin and make that happen. It's just So we'll see how things go with respect to this virus. If things continue to improve, or even if they don't get worse than they are right now, I think that mid-May date in New World Delhi is going to happen. But one of the things that I think we have all learned from this incredible experience is that we can't count on anything to happen. So we'll see. We're just going to have to see. I don't have a set list, as usual. I might try out some new tunes on you, or some tunes that are new-ish. This is not one of those, but I see that Genesis is checking in from the San Francisco, Oakland Bay area, and she likes this song, so I'm going to play it. Called Anika. If I had a wooden leg, you'd steal it and leave me stuck up in a hayloft all alone. If I were Heathcliff, you'd forsake me and then haunt me as a ghost when you were gone. I must have had it coming, I can't for sure say how. It's strange I have this stubborn wish you were right here with me now. I have fault lines etched across my heart like the cracked up perfect patchwork of the Mona Lisa, and the deepest cut of all belongs to you. Yes, it all began with you, sweet Anika. Sweet Anika. If I were Jake, you'd be Lady Bread. Your ways would leave me desperate and beguiled. If I were Earth, you'd be the temptress moon, sending light 250,000 miles. I fall in love too easy, and I move on too slow. Well, some broken things just stay broke, yeah, that's the way it goes. And I have fault lines etched across my heart like the cracked up perfect patchwork of the Mona Lisa, and the deepest cut of all belongs to you. Yes, it all began with you, sweet Anika. Sweet Anika. That song is called Anika. That is track 5 on my most recent release, which is no longer all that recent. Tex came out in January of 2019. When is the next record going to happen? This is a good question. This is a good question. I do not know the answer to that question, but it's a good question. Let's see here. I hope all y'all are doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, and all of that. There are tip links. There should be a link in the description to this event, and there are links right down at the bottom of the screen here. And I have the new single out there. So if you don't want to tip, or if you can't tip, what would be really cool is if you just jumped on Spotify and took it for a spin, or whatever streaming service you use. It's up on YouTube and Apple Music and all that sort of stuff. If you're feeling super adventurous, you can. Jump onto my website, which is terrykleinmusic.com. Go to the store tab, and you can buy that single from me directly. You can cut out the middleman, kind of. I think Bandzoogle takes a cut. I think the PayPal might take a cut also, but cut out more of the middle people. Like when you stream on Spotify, there are like 1 billion middle people that take their little pieces. When it's Apple Music, Apple takes some percentage. But if you buy it from me on the website, really most of that just comes right to me. It's 99 cents. I think if you download it, it ends up right in your little music folder wherever you listen to music on your device, and that would be cool. Let's see here. So again, no set list. If there's anything you want to hear, drop it in the comments, and maybe I'll play it if I want to. Covers too. I might throw in a cover in a little bit. A new cover that I haven't played for y'all. That I just have really fallen in love with. I'm gonna mix it up with kind of new songs. At this point, there are enough songs. 2 new records, 2.5 or even 3 conceivably, but really 2 new records, and they have a very different feel to them. And so I'll sprinkle in some from each of those kind of contemplated projects. When I was very small, my grandparents had a place out in western New Jersey, near Washington, New Jersey, and it was a big-ish old farmhouse on the Musconetcong River, and they sold it, I think, when I was 6 or 7. Yeah, they sold it when I was 6 or 7, but the farm, as it is known, wasn't a farm, but it was near farms. But the farm, as it is known, kind of occupies a special space in our family, in the stories that the family tells about ourselves, I guess, is the way of saying it. So this song was born out of that. Hey, Larry Looney's here. Larry, your post the other day was just so sweet and wonderful. It just made me feel really good. So thank you for that. The name of this song right now is Musconetcong River. Kind of from a specific place and time that I didn't experience. out on the Musconetcong River. Well, she kissed me for the first and final time. And as best as I can remember, well, I do believe that we both closed our eyes. Copper tone, pink Kool-Aid, country time, the memories fade. I'm not old yet, I'm just older. Country time, pink Kool-Aid. I forgot. It's new. It's that new. Here it is. Oscar Mayer, Dairy Queen, Reggie Jackson, A&P. How it might have been if I told her. Oh, I just shrug and sigh. In a garden state of mind. She took my hand there for a second, and then the current pulled her just beyond my reach. Those stray midsummer kisses, well, little in this life could be so sweet, so sweet. Hey, copper tone and pink Kool-Aid, country time, the memories fade. I'm not old yet, I'm just older. Oscar Mayer, Dairy Queen, Reggie Jackson, A&P. How it might have been if I told her. Oh, I just shrug and sigh. In a garden state of mind. Oh, that song is called Musconetcong River. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing these songs out live so that I can watch y'all react to them because that has a pretty big effect on what makes records. Because I can, there's some songs that I just don't care. That they mean so much, that they're so special to me, that they speak to some part of me that I can look out in the audience and I can see blank faces and I don't care. Because they touch maybe one person. But those are very rare. I can't think of more than a couple of those that I've written. Mostly I'm really looking out there to see if y'all are feeling it. And I miss that. I miss that tremendously. And I think a lot of us do. A lot of us performing folks do, because that is how we figure out what material is strong. And it goes down to even specific words and verses, and that kind of thing. You can tell what lands and what doesn't. I can sense people shifting in their seats. I can see when people lose concentration, when they start to daydream a little bit. And that's just super valuable data for me that I haven't gotten to collect in over a year. So I'm looking forward to that. Zoe and Lindsay are about to go and get Zoe her first shot. So I'm just keeping my eye on them. Let's see here. Ann Nicholas asked for a song that I wrote about Boston called Such a Town. Marty Walsh was until quite recently the mayor of Boston, and Marty and I were friends. I've lost touch with him, but we used to have a pretty regular breakfast. He was recently nominated and confirmed by the Senate to be the Secretary of Labor. And Ann Nicholas notes that the woman who took over as mayor of Boston is African American, and that is that's pretty momentous, y'all. That's yeah. I mean, I say it privately, I'll say it publicly. I think that Boston is the most racist big city in North America. So little bits of progress like that are important. So this is Such a Town. Back when I was a grown-up, I had an office with a view of Cambridge across the river and Dedham to the south, and Boston standing pat between the two. Like that Robert Francis poem about the hound. My feelings about Boston are uncertain as of now. Such a town, such a town. If Fenway Park was crumbling and neglected, and they turned off the Citgo sign, Ray Flynn took down the Rainbow Coalition. That's the Boston I picture in my mind. Not Crispus Attucks, not Paul Revere. Oh, it's kids throwing rocks at buses and a flag used as a spear. Such a town. Such a town. Yeah, my folks split up in Boston. Boston cut me deep and made me bleed. But I got married in Boston, and my kids were born in Boston just like me. The home of Justice Margaret Marshall and Bobby Orr. The plow and stars, the burn, Doyle's and the Four. Such a town, such a town. We'll take the red line from Park Street out to Harvard, the orange line from State to Forest Hills. One thing I know about Boston, if I play this song in Boston, well, it might just get me killed. Thank goodness Whitey Bulger is dead and gone. Here's to Kevin White, the Pixies, and Robert Gould Shaw. Such a town, such a town. Such a town. Oh, oh. Such a town. Oh, Lindsay's cheering quietly in the background. I told her I just don't care if there's noise. Part of this experience, as you might recall, from when I did this from March to December of last year, is you just have no idea what's going to happen. The computer might turn off. Birds might get in a really dramatic, violent fight behind me. Somebody might decide that it's time to mow their yard. There's just a lot that can happen. And I like that uncertainty. I like enjoying that, experiencing that uncertainty with you. Yeah, so that song is called Such a Town. Yeah, and that one's going to be on a record at some point, I think. A couple just quick notes about that song, and then I'm going to play the new single that we just released on Thursday. There's a reference to a place called Doyle's in that, which was kind of the central political hangout in Boston for decades. Before the pandemic, Doyle's closed. So that's kind of an interesting little relic, I guess you could say, of the song. And it's something that's happening. You know, it happens in Austin all the time. Bars and venues and that kind of stuff close because you can tear them down and put up condos. And that's just the nature of progress, I think, y'all. Progress or the passage of time, depending on your perspective. There's also a reference in that tune to the Burn, which is an Irish bar in Somerville. For many, many years, the open mic at the Burn, which was one of the very first open mics I played, was run by a guy named Hugh McGowan. Hugh McGowan passed away, I think earlier in March. It might have been February. And it's just a tremendous loss to the Boston musical community. Just a wonderful, warm, cool, fascinating guy, great guitar player. And it's just a tremendous loss. So I felt compelled to mention that. So as I noted, as I've noted everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, Instagram. Toward the end of January, the beginning of February, one of the things that I noticed was that after a lot of months of a lot of people putting on a good face and tolerating the fact that we were going through what we were going through, people just were done. The towel was thrown in. People were depressed. They were angry. And they just wanted this pandemic to be over. And they felt alone. I think that, it was the passage of time. It was the fact that, when we rolled into January, the pandemic was absolutely out of control. And people were getting sick and people were dying. Vaccines were out there, but they hadn't gotten distributed in the way that they're being distributed right now. Thank goodness they're being distributed right now. Which leads me to say that I would love for y'all to get vaccinated. If you're having any doubts about that, shoot me a direct message and I'll just talk to you about it. I won't get mad at you. I'll just share information for you. Because I've talked to a couple of people who have their doubts. And it's just really important that y'all get vaccinated. But in any case, so that was, late January, early February. Mid-February here in Austin, we had just that insane cold snap, ice storm, snowstorm. That was a snowstorm. And my writing room was too cold, so I had to just sort of hunker down in the house for that whole week. And when I got out of the house and got back into the writing room and turned the heater on and all that business, the songs really started coming at me pretty quick. And I've written a lot in the last month. Not a whole lot worth saving. Not nothing, because this is what I'm about to play is one of them. And I think this was maybe the second one that came to me. And I'll talk a little bit about the bones after I play it. But the song is streaming everywhere now. It's getting added to Spotify playlists, which is exciting. Featured an American songwriter, which is mind-boggling. It's called A Year Gone to the Dogs. I slept poorly last night, just like I did the night before. Woke up with a start. Short was the devil in the dark outside my door. A watercolor brush run amok on a palette of worry and hard luck. Oh, big weddings, depressing birthdays, just plain hanging out. Thanksgiving and Christmas, all the wandering about. A year gone to the dogs. Yeah, the days are getting longer. Soon it will be springtime again. Just another sad reminder. If I close my eyes, I guess I can pretend. Our time is an invention and a myth. We do our best, and then it's over with. Oh, big weddings, depressing birthdays, just plain hanging out. Thanksgiving and Christmas, all the wandering about. A year gone, a year gone to the dogs. The dogs go to the dogs. That song is called A Year Gone to the Dogs. It's available. You can find it. You can go to Spotify, you can stream it. You can stream it, and then there's a little 3 buttons. You can share it with your friends if you like it and say, this guy I know, Terry Klein, has a new song called A Year Gone to the Dogs, and I like it. You can buy it places like Apple Music. I think Amazon probably. I'm not sure if Google sells music anymore, but if they do, you can buy it from Google. You can go to my website, which is terrykleinmusic.com. Go to the store, and you can buy a download from me. It is 99 cents. That's all. So you can go do that. You know, that one, I noted it in a couple of posts here and there, but some songs happen really quickly, you know, over the course of a half an hour or something like that. And this is a song where the words all came rather quickly, but they were all out of order, sort of. And so I just sort of had to wait to figure out how the song wanted to arrange itself. And not force it, and really let myself listen to it and figure it out, not force anything. And like there was a version that had a bridge. And if a bridge is, so basically what happens in songs is, most of is you get a verse, you get a chorus that you probably want to sing along with, or hopefully you get a verse, you get a chorus, and what a lot of people do after that second chorus is they do a thing called a bridge, or what the Beatles called the middle eight, and then they go back to another chorus, and then you're out, and the song's over. I don't write bridges generally. I co-write bridges sometimes, but I don't tend not to write bridges. I wrote a bridge in that song, and it's gone now. I don't even remember what it said. But some songs need bridges. This one didn't. So that was the bridge experience. I want to focus on one little line in there because my friend Randy Brown from Mineola, Texas, seized upon it in a post that he put up on Facebook. Right before that first chorus, I do a pre-chorus or a pre. Sometimes it's called a channel, where I say, a watercolor brush run amok on a palette of worry and hard luck. And that was a result of me fighting through a cliche. Because one of the things that I saw people experiencing in late January, early February, was feeling like all the days were bleeding together. All the days bleed together. And so I think the original lyric was each day bleeds into the next, which sounds nice. But I tried to beat it. And so that's where that line came from. Cliches are cliches for a reason. They are very useful at conveying information, but they're pretty dangerous when you're writing songs. So that's the essence of that. I think I'm going to try and just fight my way through a cover right now. I'm going to try and fight my way through a cover and see if I can do it. It's a song that Hayes Carl wrote with Johnny Burke. I have friends in common with both of those people. That I have more friends in common with Johnny Burke that we've never met. It's called "Don't Let Me Fall." So let's see if I can. Let's see if I can do this. I've walked the highway since I can remember. Cut my poor family right down to the bone. From the shadows of hell to the edge of December. Laid down with a stranger, wake up all alone. So don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up again. Just hold me tight. Right now what I need's a friend. I've come too far for this to be the end. Don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up. God knows I try to hold on to a feeling, a song or a memory to keep in my heart. Like I ask forgiveness from those I've forsaken. Forgiveness won't come, it tears me apart. So don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up again. Just hold me tight. Right now what I need's a friend. I've come too far for this to be the end. Don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up. Killing this pain outside in the rain. One hand holds a bottle, One hand holds my shame. I don't know which comes first. I don't know which is worse. Right in behind or inside the hearse. So don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up again. Just hold me tight right now that I need a friend. I've done too far for this to be the end. Don't let me fall, 'cause I might not get up. So that song is called Don't Let Me Fall. It's by not Scott Nolan. I was just thinking of Scott Nolan. Hayes Carll and Johnny Burke. I think it's on the Trouble in Mind record from Hayes Carll, which was an extremely, and continues to be an extremely important record to me. Barry Kassendorf checks in from south of Boston. Eric Meyernick checks in from north of Amsterdam. So cool. Barry mentions John Prine. It's so funny. There's a song that means a tremendous amount to a lot of people called Mexican Home, My Mexican Home. That's, I think, on John Prine's Sweet Revenge record. It's either that or his second record. And for so long I could never figure it out, because the way that song sounds on the record is just not my taste. The way that it was produced, arranged, it sounds very much of its time. And so I decided to go and search yesterday, Barry, in fact. I decided to search out solo acoustic performances of it. I saw one from Shaky Graves on a live stream he did about a year ago that was pretty cool. There's a solo acoustic version on a John Prine live album that's also really cool. The one that really knocked my socks off was one from the end of 2019, which must have been one of the last handful of shows that John Prine played, where it's just him and his guitar in a theater setting, crowd, little hum of the crowd in the background, and he changed it up in a way that played it in a way that I hadn't heard him play it. It's totally different the record, because it's just him and his acoustic guitar, and so I might pull that out at some point soon. I'm not comfortable enough with it yet. But it's just such an incredible song lyrically. My Mexican Home, or Mexican Home. So if you like John Prine, jump on YouTube and check out those solo acoustic versions. If you don't know them already, you probably do. I don't know. We're at 12:46. Have time for a handful more, or a couple more, or something like that. Since Barry checks in, I think I'm going to play Sagamore Bridge. Gosh darn it. Well, they took out the circle. The traffic's no better. $60 million just pissed away. You sit for an hour, the baby fills her diaper, but that huggy ain't leaking. So I guess we're okay. And at Ferretti's and Brewster, roast beef and salami, sliced to perfection, that IBP meat. The folks stand there waiting in tunics and tivas, a little hungover, and maybe 1/3 asleep. On a thin strip of sand out in the Atlantic, you can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown saltboxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. Yeah, that bar band in Wellfleet, they do hits from the 90s at the Beachcomber Pub on Saturday nights. It's like an ad for Viagra. They play Bush and Nirvana, hit on the barflies, get lucky sometimes. And the rich folks from Chatham, well, they don't like poor folks. Say affordable housing, it won't happen here. And in their black E350s, when they've had 4 too many, they speed on the back roads and T-bone the deer. On a thin strip of sand out in the Atlantic, you can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown softboxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. Hey, the girls in from Russia live in single wide trailers in Yarmouth and Dennis. On summer J1s, they make $4 an hour, serving crab cakes at parties and repel the advances of husbands and sons. And on Labor Day weekend, locals stand on the bridges, waving goodbye at the folks on Route 6. Then they head back to their houses, feeling smug satisfaction, mix Coke and Evan Williams, and scream at their kids. On a thin strip of sand out in the Atlantic, you can sin like the Kennedys did. Provincetown softboxes shimmer in sunlight. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. There's a suicide fence on the Sagamore Bridge. All right, we're at 12:50. Have 10 more minutes left. I don't know how much longer in terms of how many more of these live streams I'm going to do before that May 16th show at New World Deli I was talking about. I don't know. I don't know what day or what time I'm going to do them. The thing about that Wednesday lunch live stream that made so much sense initially is that everybody was at home and scared just at home. And now the world is opening up slowly but surely, and I think that a midweek live stream, well, it would be unique, would maybe not give as many of you an opportunity to participate in real time as an evening live stream or one of these weekend live streams. If you have opinions about that, shoot me a message or just drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on kind of when you think ideal time is for one of these live streams. This feels pretty good to me, Saturday at noon, but we'll have to see. Miss Ruth Purvis Smith. Calgary? I believe Calgary. She's requested this song. I don't know why there's so many gosh darn wonderful country and folk singers from Calgary and Manitoba, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. I don't know. Jim Carroll says this time slot is great, and y'all, Jim Carroll knows. He knows. So maybe it's going to be Saturday at noon. This is for Ruth. Oh, Grandma June and Grandpa Joe lived up in Dutchess County. They had a tiny house on a big old piece of land. And that house was filled with books and sculptures and papers and paintings that take an MFA to understand. Well, sometimes Grandpa Joe, he'd almost lose his temper. He'd say, June, this house is looking like a war zone. She'd put her hands on her hips, tilt her head to the left and say, dull women keep immaculate homes. Well, Grandpa Joe passed, and oh, how she missed him. That tiny house became a shrine of their love. And then she started adopting dogs and cats and hamsters. They kept her company long with the good Lord up above. But Daddy didn't like it, not for one single second. He said, Mama, what on earth is going on? She put her hands on her hips, tilted her head to the left and said, dull women keep immaculate homes. She said, oh, I've been so blessed. Yeah, there's joy in this life and you can find it if you want to make a mess. We lost Grandma June a year ago November. I hadn't cried like that since I was just a kid. We all met up at Uncle Milton's and drank and sang together, told off-color jokes like Grandma June would have did. Then we buried her in the cemetery right next to her beloved, and Daddy wouldn't say just what he put on her gravestone. I read that epitaph, and they're etched in granite. Dull women keep immaculate homes. Dull women keep immaculate. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you for requesting that, Ruth. It's fun to play. It's fun to play. Which I guess is kind of partly the point. Just looking at some comments. Interesting. Opinions. All right. We have time for one more, I think. What I have often talked about during these things is what I'm reading and what I'm listening to and what I'm watching. Lindsay and I are most of the way. We're starting the 6th season of The West Wing, which we'd never watched. Initially, I was pretty freaked out, not freaked out. I was just scared off by the American president, which felt to me like such an unrealistic pipe dream of what politics is. The West Wing is way better. It is really smart. You learn stuff about issues that you didn't know about. It hews pretty closely to the center, and recognizes the merit in where there is merit in issue positions across the political spectrum. It's good, and when he is good, Aaron Sorkin is really good. When he's not good, he's not good. Just like all of us, kind of. So The West Wing. I'm reading The Power Broker by Robert Caro, which is about a very powerful man who changed the face of New York from the 20s and 30s up until the 60s and 70s. It's an amazing book. It's huge. So that's happening. I'm reading, and I love it. I'm reading a book called The Song Machine. I can't remember if I think it's John Seabrook wrote it, which is about kind of how pop songs have been built over the last 25, 30 years, and how that has changed. It's really well written. A lot of people in it. I think that you would, I think you might enjoy it. It's kind of it's almost a light read. It's just it's super smart. Listening. What am I listening to that's sort of unique? Just a lot of playlist stuff. Just kind of working my way through playlists. One song that just nailed me right in the gut about 10 days ago that I hadn't really listened all that closely to is a song called The Line by Bruce Springsteen on his Ghost of Tom Joad album. It is a wonderful song, and it hit me right at the right time. It is the kind of song that I aspire to write. It is the kind of song that I like to listen to. It is not for everyone, but nothing is. Yeah. I'm going to finish with Does the Fish Feel the Knife? Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's really nice to see y'all again. I'm not sure when these things are going to happen. I'm going to try and do them once a week. And then May 16th, I'm going to be back in person at New World Deli, barring some disaster or real change in the trajectory of this thing. May 16th, back at New World Deli for the third Sunday Songwriter Series. Not sure who's going to be with me yet, or what the format of that show is going to be, other than just general exaltation. We'll see. Oh, thank y'all so much. Does the fish feel the knife? That's what she asked me. I did not know how I should respond. She asked me again, said, Daddy, did you hear me? Any answer that I gave will get it wrong. Yeah, most things keep kind of simple until you poke at them even just a little. Does the fish feel the knife? What happens when we die? Is it kind of like sleeping? But she asked me this, and I was at a loss. Driving home from a wake early in the evening, I'd seen her staring up at Jesus on the cross. And you can't say no one knows, not to a girl who's 4 years old. Does the fish feel the knife? You need a license to drive a car, to shoot a buck, to cut a man's hair. Anyone can have a kid. Home, good luck, take care. Does the fish feel the knife? Daddy, who's that man? Why's he always on the corner? She asked me as we sat there at the light. A cardboard sign, spare a dime or a quarter. Man, there's so much in this world, it just ain't right. We let folks slip through the cracks. No, I wasn't gonna tell her that. But does the fish feel the knife? You need a license to drive a car, to shoot a buck, to cut a man's hair. Anyone can have a kid. I'll send you home, good luck, take care. Does the fish feel the knife? 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 Well, all right, y'all. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Stay safe, stay healthy. Be well, be good to each other, and I will see you again at some point soon. Date, time to be determined. Y'all take care.